What is up? The day has finally come. We get to open all the Liberty Walk boxes for the AZ1 and hopefully transforming this car behind me into a MINI F40. It is one of the most insane projects we've ever done on this channel, and by far the craziest kit we've ever fitted to a car on this channel. And let's just say not everybody was on board with this.
Stupid. Worst decision ever. Could have bought a real Ferrari for that money.
You already know what I think.
We have a long couple of days ahead of us, but with that all said and done, let's get cracking. What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Now, I've been waiting about 3 months for this video to happen. Finally, we're going to be starting the AZ1, and finally, we're going to be opening the big 2 Liberty Walk boxes that arrived only a few days ago. As you can see, Customs have opened the box and everything. But we have not opened the box to see what's inside because we're going to do it for you guys on camera for our first look at what's inside. Because let's be honest, a body kit for a car like this should not be in a box this size. But there is a good reason for that, and that is because I'm not too sure, but from the research that I've done, I'm fairly confident that every single panel of that car has to come off and be replaced. I'm not saying like every single panel, like bumpers, skirts and everything like that. I mean every panel. This door panel apparently comes off. This whole tailgate, which I thought did have the window in, but it's just like a clamshell on top, that needs to come off. Every single panel is being replaced to make this car wider, and at the end of the day, hopefully looking like the MINI F40 that you've all seen in the pictures from Liberty Walk. Right, so first job, I need to strip this entire car before we get into the body kit. And I'm not gonna lie, our toolbox got absolutely rinsed for Drift Masters. That's what I'm dealing with. And 2 guns and 1 battery, which isn't ideal. I'm probably gonna have to improvise somewhere, but yeah, last time we're gonna see the car like this. Oh, that's a bit sad actually. Nah, it's not returning to a MINI F40. Let's get stripping.
So diving into this car initially was very daunting, but actually I found out pretty soon it was super easy. And luckily for me, I only needed a few tools to actually strip this entire car.
Okay, that was ridiculous. I'm not joking when I say this. That was 40 minutes from a car to this. And that is pretty much without using power tools. Only figured out we had this with about 4 bolts to go. I planned the whole day to do this. I saw a tutorial on YouTube that I watched last night, and he took the whole day to take this off, so I'm not too sure what he was doing. Sorry if you're watching this, Mr. AZ1 guy, but 40 minutes, easy. Everything fell off, it was ridiculous. And I only needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools. Everything was literally the same. The majority was taken off with this. And we're gonna find out in a little while if the kit is going to go on as easy. I imagine you took it out of the box and literally put it on, and by the end of unboxing it, it was kitted. That'd be ridiculous.
I would later find out that was far from what happens.
But before we get on to doing anything with the kit of the car, unboxing that and everything, which again, super excited for, I need to figure out the suspension. Because, unfortunately, our good friends BC here don't make a coilover for this car, and I don't blame them. There's not many of these cars and not many people wanting coilovers for these. And if you're to look online, the coilovers cost, I mean, in Japan it's about 3.5, so by the time you get them over here it could be 4, 4.5, God knows what, and that's not even for brand new ones. So what we're gonna do is figure out if we can get some BCs for this car, and because this is a 90s Mazda, my prediction is it could be an MX-5 top mount. So I have made a template. This is off my drift car, and I mean that's a fairly shitty template, but that is the same top mount as an MX-5. So that's great news. Top mount sorted, easy. The next thing BC have asked for is for the measurement of the shock and the measurements of the bottom mount to see if there's anything on their catalogue. They can make me up a custom coilover of a few different coilovers and everything like that. So hopefully everything in this video goes as well as taking the body off.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
Right, so I'm gonna whip off the wheel and get some measurements from the coilovers. And because we're doing suspension stuff, I'm gonna use a coilover as my tripod.
So the reason I had to measure the original suspension is so that BC had something to go off. So I measured the actual shock and the bottom mount for the suspension. I also had to do the back just to make sure if there was any measurements that would be different. And it's lucky I did, because the actual bottom mount for the suspension is slightly different.
So fingers crossed they'll be able to come up with a combination of something to fit this car. Again, from what I can tell, it's close to a S13 bottom mount and MX-5 top mount with a custom shock and spring, but they could have something that is an exact replacement for the hub. Something Mazda around the same era as that. So fingers crossed, a couple of days they'll be able to figure something out and get something made up to send out to us, which would be great. But I will say, I am looking here, a 17-inch wheel has to go here. 17. And now I'm going to put this into perspective for you. That's an 18. And that is big. So, yes, we're going down an inch. I'm not sure what you have to do to get this to fit. I don't think you're going to be able to lower it. I think my prediction is the kit is going to lower the car rather than the suspension actually lowering the car, because Jesus Christ. I mean, we followed Liberty Walk's measurements and everything. It is a 17-inch wheel that is on theirs, so time will tell.
So I've got in here super early because I have to check out what's going on with this AZ1. Oh, and say hello to Kobe. He's just come from the vet, so I'm minding him today. So while Josh works away on the AZ1, I want to show you guys something very, very cool, and it is the sponsor of today's video, and it is the water drop countertop RO system. And we'll get you some, don't worry, don't worry. This fancy gadget sits in our beautiful kitchen here, and it is saving us a ton of money, a ton of time, and making us healthier. I'm going to tell you why. So obviously we've been buying bottled water because the water we have in commercial properties or at the shed or anywhere, well, we notice when we wash our cars, you see all the lime scale, you get all the impurities like chlorine or microplastics. This has a 3-to-1 waste ratio, saves us 4,000 bottles of water a year, and plastic as well. And it's also very healthy for all of the boys. It gets rid of 99.9% of the impurities. Beautiful cold water drinking, especially when we're working on cars. And obviously we put race fuel in our drift cars. Why wouldn't we put fuel in ourselves that is consistent and pure? Now this is an amazing bit of kit that the boys have been using every single day, and very, very handy. And also, it not only does cold water, but it can also do hot water. So if you wanted to make a tea, it saves you boiling the kettle. Like Josh wastes tons of time doing that, but he's way too busy on the car today. So
you just say tea?
Yeah, it does hot water for tea.
This is one of my favorite gadgets in the office, purely because it makes making tea faster. So with this, not only are you getting your tea faster, the water is filtered, making it purer, the taste nicer, the brew better, and at the end of the day,
it's good. So it also has a 6-stage filter, and I love this little feature. You can actually take it out and put it in the fridge for some ice cold drinking water, which on a day like today, I kind of need. That is some quality H2O. Actually, do you know who would also love this?
That's lovely, that.
I know, isn't it? Really nice. If you want to grab your own water drop countertop RO system, check out the link on the screen right now and in the description below. And thank you to Water Drop for sponsoring today's video. Right, now it's time to go see how Josh is getting on. What have you been up to? What have you been up to now?
You know how we said it was pretty much the whole car that comes off? It's the entire car that comes off.
I mean, in one way good, in another way, you definitely have the value of this car straight away. You know what, it's in pretty good nick, to be fair. If you come in real close, watch, come in real close. So this is the new Drift Games Corvette we're building. As you can see, it's the new Drift Games Corvette we're building. This is life size, I'm standing up fully at the moment. As you can see, perfect rear end. And
Adam's bought his cap again.
It's business cap time now. Half the car, half the work.
Twice the price?
Twice the price. Josh Bath. It'll be easy, everything comes, I can't believe, the doors come off as well.
Why did you try to buy a mint one?
You don't have that much option out there.
Fair hand, you do a window regulator, right? You do it outside the car.
At least if someone ran.
Is this electric?
Yeah.
No, it's white. It's not electric. Less to go wrong.
Obviously, it's a 25 grand car, you're going to have windy windows. In fact, you have a window the size of a Twix bar here.
I was going to say, it's not. That stays. That's the only bit that goes down.
These mirrors are lovely too. They're just beautiful. Look at that.
The quality. Oh, look at that.
You wouldn't kick them. I have a plan for the mirrors.
Really?
Yeah.
What, look through them? Okay.
I was going to say, we're at the exciting part. It's obviously.
I've been giving him a lot of grief over this build, but to be honest, that box has been sitting here, what, 3 months now?
It has been, yeah.
And
It's actually been here and purchased before the car, wasn't it?
we don't tell them our secrets, Adam. We didn't buy the kit before the car. That'd be madness.
That'd be mad.
Crazy if we did that.
Bought a kit for 30 grand, didn't even know if a car existed in Europe. That'd be a silly way of doing this project. Now we get to open the box, and I think, look, if we take my lack of mechanical knowledge, Josh's enthusiasm, and your hat, and we put them together for a couple of hours, we'll see where this is going to end up, which is, it's come off very easy, but will the kit go on very easy is the question now.
Oh, time will tell. I hope it does.
I'm going to approach this.
I think we've taken out.
JDM wood. Oh, it smells like JDM.
You'll feel tilt and pull.
You can? Tell it when.
That's the bonnet!
That's the front!
No. That's the bonnet, wings and bumper.
It's all one piece.
It's a clamshell.
This is perfect. We have so little work.
Oh, we'll be done in 15 minutes. Oh my god.
What?
Cut it.
Do you want to cut it?
Yeah. Hurry up.
Just see that 20 grand of a body kit. Sliding forward. You don't want to do anything. You can tell Dave's excited because he stopped talking and actually doing manual labour.
Don't get that one. Don't get that one.
Offer it all.
The front, Dave.
Don't know if it's going to fit with your headlight things in there.
No, you're going to have to do about a foot off.
So there's a little bit more cutting than we thought. I say maybe let's remove this, have a look at what else we have in the box, and then we'll come back to this.
That's 90% there, so.
This is, look, we're on the home stretch here.
That's almost ready to send it, eh?
So this is your put them on all the panels where it's painted, so it's official. And then on this, I think what they're trying to say here is that there should be bonnet hooks in there, and they go on the bonnet and down here to connect it to the car. And in order to connect it at the bottom, you have got structural pieces, which are these, which I assume go in under here, and that's what actually it supports the bumper. This is the back. I haven't got that far yet. This is a ooh.
It's for our next project.
No!
Holy moly, there's more now. There's more.
Oh my god.
So cool. You look like a doctor's apprentice. Stat. Bring us some extras.
I'm not sure what this is for. Should we offer it?
It looks like it's going to go into the exact screw holes here on this side too. Exactly. Yeah, screws, a few screws there and set up like at the front too. Hole is there. Small bit wider than the original, I'd say.
That's where the hole is here.
The slot's actually. To be fair, they've got a little cutout that goes around the original body, and when you slot that in, that hole perfectly lines up to the original mounting point. So
Nice. Let's put a little star in Amelie's.
first time you said that.
Josh,
Yeah?
I have a feeling that the original door panel stays on the car. I think that goes on the original door panel as a wide body.
Josh, how the hell are your 17-inch wheels going to fit on the front?
Yeah, Josh, that goes on the door.
Look at that. It's a future Josh problem.
Underskirt, there's only one. So that can't be right. Is there two fins on the spoiler? Do you think that's the back? Yeah, before you look and destroy it. Is there some more part of the bolt?
That's what I'm trying to find. It's going to slot in somewhere.
It's there, look. See? These two bolts here, they go here. They go in here. So if you go across here, yeah, that's where it goes.
There you go, and
then it has them on the front as well. Yeah.
He is figured it out.
So they go there. They'll twist it. You put that there. I think the headlight comes out, and maybe the bracket for the headlight comes out, and then she should sit on fine. I think you leave this because that's giving some support to the bumper there.
So at this point we had realised it's going to be a lot more work than we predicted. And we're going to have to do things to the car that would ruin its originality forever.
Alright, so I may have got a bit ahead of myself when I said I think the kit is going to fall onto the car. It was wishful thinking. So, yeah, I didn't think there'd be any modifications needed to put this on really. I thought it was just going to slip on there. It is not. And not knocking the instructions, but there seems to be a page missing, maybe. Because you would assume those bits are for the front bumper, and I'm sure they are, but I don't know where they go. And because this is the second one ever built, there is no videos online tutoring you how to do it. So we offered it up to the car, and it didn't fit. I think we're going to cut away some stuff here, but we're going to cut little by little so we don't cut too much away. But I think these sections and a bit of this. So yeah, time to do some choppy and see if we can get this front one on. I still don't understand this. We've got this here. This is where the top quick releases go. I can't even figure out where they go. All we need is one picture of them on the car. One picture somewhere. But we don't have that, annoyingly.
Well, stop putting it off. Chop it up.
Yeah, but this is like the real point of no return.
You have a safety squint.
Got safety glasses. Very bad metal.
That came off very easily.
Hopefully that's the bit we needed to cut off. I'm going to make a disclaimer now. I'm going to neaten up all this after. Are you just using snips?
Just pliers, don't need a grinder. Grinders are dangerous.
So we're after hours here, and it seems like everyone's just come out just to have a go at hacking up the car.
Taking their anger out on the car, just being like, ah!
I wouldn't like to see another crash. It's very like soft.
No, we've got the new crash structure. Chewing into it like nothing now.
It's getting cheaper.
Are you taking your anger on this? Because I've just shared a bolt over there.
Yeah, pass it. Fuck it.
You won't see any of this. It's fine.
Oh.
Much rain was slapping on there.
You open above?
Up you come there.
It's actually now getting caught on the bit that we were chopping off, the bit that's attached to it.
Right, so realising we had to cut away the chassis is one thing. The other thing was we had, obviously, lots of bars and stuff where the instructions, well, there was no instructions, so we didn't know where they were. We think that this is almost like a pre-production model that they gave us already bolted up, and this is like the second version, and in the factory they just thought we would figure it out, maybe?
Well, to be fair to them, I can't imagine that when they designed this kit for this car that they thought we're going to get a lot of sales here.
That's what we think anyway, so we're going to put this up here because we think it's cut in there, and this one is a lot smoother around. So fingers crossed with the cutting of the chassis, the new bar, we should be on. Okay, so I've been looking at some videos of this and we got it a smidge wrong. So need the wings.
Everything needs to go back on.
So you need to put the wings on, it attaches to the wings and everything like that. One more thing is the side skirt has a vent, so we need to cut this off so it has room for the vent. Then I think we're on the home stretch for all the figuring out. I mean, there's still a few bars and everything, but you can't see that you need them. I don't see why you would need them until we probably go for the first test drive and everything balloons off because of that. But fingers crossed, we don't need them.
So we put the wings and side panels back on the car, and the second fit went a lot smoother, and all the parts fit a lot better.
Okay, maybe taking slightly longer to do this as I estimated, but I think we're finally getting somewhere. It looks like, well, I mean, not completely, but it almost looks like the one that we saw in Japan at Tokyo Autosalon, and you can genuinely tell how much wider it is because, as I said in the last video, we need to get custom wheels because no one makes offsets like this, and yeah, they're, I don't think there's anybody else of an AZ1, bar the other Liberty Walk one, that's going to be putting wheels on like we are. But there is one final piece to go on.
Carson 5 there.
What the hell did you say then? What's this for?
Having the clip.
Is that a size?
I also found a piece that you threw in the rubbish pot.
I didn't mean to. Oh my god, that was a close one. So is that part of it? Is that like a girdy flap? Or hang on a second, that could be like a... This could be a side... the cutest little side step maybe.
Yeah. You only have one, so...
Hardware. It does say what part this is for and everything like that. And they very kindly sectioned them all out and stuff, but I can't read Japanese, so I've got no idea what this packet is for, but it's going to be the spoiler packet, this one. Maybe it's just like a really manly kit because we don't need instructions. Although we definitely did need instructions. What does that say?
There's something about the spoiler.
Shut up!
Seeing this car come together is like a dream come true for me. A lot of people look at this as a novelty car, but for me, this is how I imagine my perfect car. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I have been reading a lot of the comments and really appreciate all the positivity people are giving this build.
Okay, we're going to go through how awesome this looks in just a moment, but I'm going to take a small break from the AZ1 to tell you that our jerseys have arrived. Now, for you guys, this isn't such a big thing because you didn't really know anything about these. But in short, they were kind of lost for a little while and we didn't know where they were. We didn't actually know at one point if we could actually get these, but they have finally turned up. So these are the Driftmasters jerseys for Dave and Connor Falvey. Connor rocking the blue and Dave with the yellow.
And for the first time ever, we're offering these jerseys in kid sizes, which range from 3 years of age all the way up to 14.
And my favourite thing about the jerseys is like a football team. I think drifting's kind of getting to that level, so it's really cool to see everyone at the events wearing their favourite team's jersey and showing the support that way. Now these aren't just your normal t-shirt material, these are proper sports jerseys. Now I know these have been on pre-sale before, but we haven't really put a big push on them since we found out, well, we didn't really know where they were. But yes, they now are in stock, every single size you can think of within reason, I guess, ready to be shipped out straight away. Now, Connor and Dave do have a little bit of friendly rivalry with this of who will sell the most jerseys. So I guess that's up to you guys really to decide. Who is the most popular driver, I guess? Dave or Connor Falvey? So now, probably gonna have to take a small break from here to give the lads a hand because there's already quite a few orders to go through.
Thank you to everyone that's picked up one of our jerseys already or any of our merch, as it really helps funding, well, stupid projects like these.
Alright, finally I can get a good look around the car and show you guys all the little details that I didn't necessarily know when we were unpacking the kit. But honestly, this thing's coming together so well. So we have made some fairly dramatic cuts. The front is, well, cut off quite considerably So much so that we're not really ever going to be able to put this back to standard. But who wants to put it back to standard when it looks like this? The rear is the part that really came together. Like, how cool is that? I think this is one of the best looking mini spoilers ever. It looks awesome. A little detail there, it's got a little flap which comes down, and to hide this weird line there, there's a bit of a little girdy flap or mini carbon spoiler. I'm not too sure what you would call it, but it looks very cool. We've got these little mini side steps and diffusers. But to finish this thing off, the last two bits really I need to do is to put on the front splitter. And it's got these little bits. On the Liberty Walk one, they go there. I'm not too sure if we should attach the splitter and trying to get it there. I'm not too sure what to do there yet. But we do need to attach the bumper, which we have these little fasteners that Liberty Walk supplied us with. So, two go there and two go here. And that's kind of the only thing holding the front clamshell together. Obviously there's bolts down there. All I can do now is hope that I have everything in place so that when I attach all these, I haven't cut any holes in a very expensive body kit in the wrong place. Definitely not the most qualified person to do this, but I am the only person here, so let's give it a go.
Now, I'm sure there's lots of different ways of doing this, but this is the way that I've chosen to do it. I've tried to look from the underside and see where the light goes through for the brackets and try to draw a marker pen around those squares so I know where to drill in, and then putting across to find the center point. From there, I can drill the holes that are needed to mount the quick releases. This is an incredibly finicky job to do because if one of the holes doesn't line up, they all don't line up. So you have to be really careful with your measurements to make sure everything fits as it should.
Okay, as easy as that probably looked in the time lapse, it was far from easy. I don't know what this thing is made of or what these drill bits are made of. It is just a graveyard there of snapped drill bits. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't particularly hard on them, they just disintegrated. I think it was stainless steel behind there or something. Anyway, something didn't agree with it. But the front is on. Pretty sturdy. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about that because if you've done these sorts of things before, they are a bit tricky to line up fully, especially when you're doing 4 of them over a traditional 2 bonnet pin system. All it takes is one to be a little bit off and it can throw the whole thing off, and you don't really want to push it into place, you want to sit it in nicely. But the front clamshell has been off and on about 7 times now, and it literally slots on perfectly. So let me just give myself a pat on the back. It's time to ask Dave what he thinks of it, if he's changed his mind, if he still thinks it's stupid. The first video of this has just been released and the response is fairly overwhelming. Very rarely on this channel do I do something that nobody else really thinks will work and everyone says is a bit stupid. I kind of back off because I don't want the responsibility, but this one I stuck to my guns and you guys seem to be 100% behind it. The views, the comments, the likes, everything from the video has made me realize that I think it was the right car to get, and I thank you guys for that. So yeah, let's keep the positivity going, keep the likes, keep the comments. I tried to get through as many as possible, but there was like 2,000 comments or something on the last video, so obviously I can't go through them all, but I am going to be going up and down every day trying to reply to you guys as much as possible. And I think now that the car is looking the way that I always envisioned, the one that I saw in Japan, it's ridiculous to think that it's actually in our HQ, and this one, someday soon, not right away, but we are going to be driving this on the road, which is just bonkers.
Should I look? Has progress been made?
Dave, a lot of progress has been made.
Oh, okay. Okay. It does look a little bit less like a toy car now. God, it's got a lot bigger.
It's just a lot less than a toy car. It still is absolutely a toy car.
So was your theory right that you could take all the panels off and then put it all straight on?
Well, all the panels did come off, but a few needed to go back on.
So how was the front? Hold on. Did this take off the lights and it went straight on the front?
Had to cut the front of the car off.
Like the chassis?
You know I said when all the panels could come off And then if we really wanted to, you could put it back to standard. And
Yeah, where the value is. That's the collector's car.
The value is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It actually went around there.
Front of the car off.
But we needed to, we were committed.
Why is the fender still on?
Because it rests on the fender.
And what, does it fit in here like neatly at the bottom?
No, I had to cut the fender.
So to cut the front of the chassis and the fender off this collectible item car.
Yeah, I mean the side skirt as well looks like it's in one piece. There's a vent on the side skirt, so I had to chop that in half.
Josh, it looks pretty good though, I will give you that.
Have you seen the rear view? It's immense.
It's like the smallest diffuser I've ever seen.
It's cute. It's honestly, it's I don't think you can help but smile looking at it.
Do you know what? I'll give you that. It does bring us. I've never not smiled at the car when I've seen it.
Even Kobe's look. Oh no, he's just interested in the camera now.
Kobe, learn from this man's mistakes. I'll give you some credit. You've got a lot further in a very short amount of time than I thought you did. To be fair, it is looking a bit cooler than I thought it would. I knew it would look cool because I've seen it in the flesh, the other one, but I never realised how many weird panels there. I never realised you had to put a skin on the door.
No, I thought that was a complete replacement.
I thought you replaced the door.
It is. You know what? When we looked at the one at Liberty Walk, I never looked at it in a way that you sat in it and it was funny.
To be fair, at that point in time, it was such an unobtainable thing that you wouldn't have looked at it seriously of how you build it. You just look at it for what it is. So
no, we genuinely, when it got released, we laughed at it, and you almost looked at it like the Ferrari F40. Was that unattainable? It's no, but you wouldn't be stupid enough to do it.
Look, I'm not going to admit defeat on this, but I will say it's very cool that we were in Tokyo Auto Salon when they were unveiling that car, and now we're building one here in our new HQ, which I think is very cool. So from the story, it's good. From how far the progress is, it's good. Price is still is what it is. In fact, Adam O'Connor is over there fixing his Datsun for the 14th day in a row. Like you probably put about 4 foot onto the length of the car and about 1.5 foot onto the width. So maybe it's becoming a normal car as time goes on.
Yeah, Josh, what a stupid small car.
The two boys have built 2 stupid small cars for the price of a UK Lamborghini Huracan.
Just say that shot again, Dave. As he talks over his 2 NASCARs.
I would never waste money on things that aren't a guaranteed hit. And 2 fake NASCARs, I mean, that's a shoe-in. People don't understand the banter we have. If you're not making fun of your friends' cars, you're not a car enthusiast. That's the whole point.
Also, you're not a real friend. Only fake friends are positive about each other's cars.
We don't want toxic positivity around here. We want reality. You're building a stupid car, you'll sell it for a quarter of what you spent on it, and it was working fine before you started. I will say, I love that car, and I'm getting there on this. Although I need to see wheels on it because it looks like a spaceship.
It's a hovercraft.
What I love about it is that we all have our own projects, we all have our own taste, we all have our own style, and that's kind of cool because if we all built the same cars, we wouldn't have anything to slag each other about. But because he likes stupid small cars that are way too expensive,
it's way too small.
You like small pickup trucks that are way too expensive. Over there, convertible Sweeney, looking for diffs and shafts for an S2000 if you have them.
I'm a bit confused how we're ending this video. Is this a positive or negative or a bit of both or?
You figure it out.
Yeah. Comment below. Good or bad? I don't know. I think progress good, cost bad.
It was always bad. It started bad.
Comment below what Josh could have bought instead of this. There's a lot of cars.
Go.
Roll the credits.